were all in Hawaii and on the island of Maui, and Duncan was having a grand time, did not appear ill at all. He was swimming and surfing.
Duncan and I were sitting at the table with his grandmother and his brother at breakfast one morning in Hawaii, and he just was kind of talking to his grandmother like he usually does, and he turned his head to the side and kind of went like this. And I just saw on his neck this little almond-shaped node, and it turned out to be leukemia.
When he got back to Seattle and went to the ER, we were on our way back to Boston and learned that he had leukemia. It was very shocking because he did not appear to be a sick child in any way.
I just remember it was the two of us in the car on the way to the hospital. We went to an urgent care facility for the diagnosis, and then we went across town to the hospital. And Duncan and I just talked about what this meant, and I just remember trying not to cry and trying not to look very upset. But I just knew that our whole world was changing in that moment. And I remember the two of us just kind of held hands all the way over to the hospital. That next year, we were in and out of the hospital for treatment and for fever. On the other hand, I have to say we had some really good laughs, and we had some really fun times together. In fact, I remember one time driving through the Arboretum, and he looked at me and my husband and said, you know, I'm really going to miss these times that we have together. And I just thought, wow, you know, as bad as it was that year, we did have a lot of laughs and a lot of really good family time. And, you know, I'm sure we'll always appreciate that too.
Everyone in our family stepped up to support Duncan during the very grueling initial 9-10 months of treatment. I tried to contribute a lighthearted touch and a sense of humor to his treatment. So we rented a lot of movies, and I introduced him to some classic comedies. And so we passed a lot of time watching great TV and discovering some classic films. And there were actually a lot of times that Duncan and I and the rest of the family had fun, even during the hard months of treatment. We went on a lot of walks together and talked about how he was doing. And he got to meet Steven Spielberg through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That proved to be a super memorable trip. And then he also would Skype in to a full semester of courses from our dining room at home.
After I was diagnosed with leukemia in November 2012, I spent a year undergoing intense, brutal chemotherapy that attacked me both physically and mentally. I avoided reading, writing, and drawing in fear of becoming painfully nauseous. I have lost the ability to use my legs to their full capacity in fear of collapsing my steroid-damaged knees. But never do I look back and feel unlucky. I was supported and nurtured by my awesome friends and family in every possible way. I'm a very lucky person. I'm in the easier maintenance phase of my treatment now, and I believe I've come out of the intense phase a much stronger person than I once was. I have a wiser perspective on life, and I'm very grateful for that. When I was in the middle of a stay in the inpatient oncology ward, my school, Seattle Country Day School, climbed the Columbia Tower for the 2013 Big Climb. They raised over $89,000 that year, surpassing every other team as well as their own personal record. That year, Seattle Country Day was climbing for me, and that made me feel greatly supported and helped me through a tough time. Here's why I feel so passionate about the Big Climb. It's a brilliant idea because it takes a very dark and scary topic and turns it into a fun and upbeat community event. When you're diagnosed with cancer, your friends and family desperately want to do something for you, and the Big Climb is a great outlet for that. Not only because it allows people to help you, but because climbers are helping countless other patients as well. The Big Climb lets people say, "I care about you," in a way that's very helpful, intelligent, and thoughtful.